All right, it's 1878 Casuals, Los Angeles, California. Everybody calls me English. I'm here with my man Casey Gale and the one and only Fish. How you doing, guys?
Hey, man.
Doing great.
Well,
Glad to be
welcome
back
back.
on this.
Feeling good about the Reds.
Yeah, we missed you guys the weekend. Obviously, Casey was up there with family, and actually both had family commitments. But we missed you the weekend. It was definitely different when someone's missing. It's quite strange actually how it's last few weeks the bond has gotten bigger and better. Right. Here we go. Let's see. First question, you guys. What do you think about the Sun said today that unless Ronaldo makes peace or eats some humble pie, he's not going to be in the squad for Sheriff game? Fish.
I mean, it's Ronaldo has a very strong personality, and obviously so does Ten Hag. So either they're going to have to come to some sort of agreement and just move on from this, or they're just going to keep on battling through the media, and then obviously Ronaldo will leave. But if they can move forward from this and they each get what they want out of each other, then they'll move on and press high and move on. So I mean, it's just a matter of who's gonna falter first, I guess. If it's going to be the club or if a player, and usually it's not the club. So it's up to Ronaldo to either want to stay or leave in January transfer.
Case.
It looks like Ronaldo's the one eating humble pie because he's back in training. He was training hard. And Hag basically said, "Listen, I'm gonna bring you back. It's on you now. I'm giving you another opportunity." And I love the way Ten Hag's handling it. He's very firm. He punished him. He's bringing him back. Ronaldo's worked hard today in training. It was intense training. He's Rashford's backup right now because Rashford needs some break. So he has to understand his role now. He's not the main guy. Rashford's above him, and pretty sure Martial's above him too. So, it's a bad situation, but I love the way Ten Hag handled it, and he was very, he's the boss. A lot of players gave him some respect for it, and Ten Hag's not the one. He's not the one. This is his squad, and we all know it. And I think Ronaldo's got another opportunity to show that he's a professional.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I don't really think it's down to them meeting on mutual ground. The governor's the governor. Doesn't matter whether you're the prime racehorse in the stable or not. You perform for the boss, and if you don't have the respect for the boss and the players around you, I mean, look, as I said after it happened, who knows what's going on in his head? I mean, I think you can see in his face he's not making that extra yard anymore. He's not making that height anymore. It's got to be very difficult for a professional athlete to get older. Obviously, he had the loss of his kid as well and shit. But I agree with you, Case. I think the manager handled it absolutely perfectly. It might even be a good thing for him that that it happened because he's laying down the law, and the other players just going to see how it happens. So I hope he does because I think he's good. I think when he's on the side and even on the pitch or off the pitch, when he's behind the team, everybody rises to him. Do you know what I mean? He's very, very infectious, obviously.
Yeah.
So you guys reckon he will travel and play on Thursday?
I believe he will play. Cristiano wants to play, and Hag wants to play him, but there's rules. And I think he'll feature. Like I said, Rashford needs some rest. It works out for everybody, but it was a bad day for Ronaldo. Because the team played good without him, and turns out the team didn't even notice he left because they were so busy cheering. So he can't go. Don't do this to yourself. Don't do this to yourself because there's a lot of guys that look up to you. And I just love how our gaffer behaves. I just love it. I just absolutely love it.
Right. Have you any thoughts on the predicted lineup? Have you seen it, either of you?
I've seen a few predictions. Go ahead, Fish. Sorry.
No, I don't think I've seen any. But I'm sure it's going to be some of the players that haven't been playing lately. So I'm assuming it's going to be Malacia, Maguire, Lindelof, and I'm going to say it, Aaron Wan-Bissaka. I'm sure he's not going to play though. I might still be Delo on the right
Well,
for the defense.
this is what I've got right now. That they're the prediction, right, Fish? I'll read it to you. Tell what you think. De Gea, obviously. Wan-Bissaka, Valley in the back with Maguire, Dallo, Van der Beek, Fred, Bruno, Cristiano, and Anthony. And I think that's missing one, but that's what they are.
It's going to be one
Sancho?
Basasaka or Delo.
Delo.
Both.
So
They're talking about Maguire and Delo out. No, sorry, Delo, Babazaka out on the
The wingers.
wings.
oh, that's interesting. I thought
Uh-huh.
he'd probably go with Malacia. Malacia. I don't even know if he'll bring Harry in yet. I don't think he'll be making this too many changes. I think he'll go with Martinez and a guy from Sweden, Lindelof, and I just there's too many changes to the defense. I just don't see him making all those changes to the defense. And the midfield, I would probably see him go with Johnny or go with Fred. No, take that. Fred, Christensen, Eric Christensen, and McTominay. Give Cashier a break, and then go with a top with Langa, Cristiano, Anthony. But I
think
can't
he's-
see him making all the changes to the defense.
I don't know. I think he's doing this lineup to for two reasons. One, to see if they still have it, see if they can play the United way when it's, you know, because a lot of these players haven't played in a while, and it's to showcase that they're still hungry and they still want to play for the United badge. And number two is if they don't, he wants other managers to see them play and to see what they can do, see that they're still, you know, ball players and they could still hack it. And if that's the case, then they might get, you know, bids in the January transfer for him. Because in the end, if they're not going to play, you might as well sell them off in January, because that's when, you know, that's when I get the summer transfers are the big buying the big players. But in January is more of the smaller players, I believe. And, you know, it's you've played half of a season and now you need to, you know, you just need that one last player to complete your midfield, your defense, or your attacking. And I think that's the cheaper players going for cheaper, but teams willing to pay that wage and stuff like that. So I think that's what this is. This is either you guys are going to make it or we're going to try to sell you in the January transfer. I think that's why he's doing that, because they got to get a chance too.
Right, but
I believe.
okay, but let me put this to you. Do you think that the Europa, when they're obviously playing to win it, right? He's not a cup. He's not interested in. Is that the right time to you showcase players who haven't been playing well or haven't had any games? Like number two, don't forget the World Cup's going to fuck everything up. Excuse my language. You know, right in the middle of all this, talk about transfer windows. You don't know who's going to get injured, who's going to play well, who's not going to play well. I can't begin to tell you how much sleep I'm losing already over the thought of how they're going to play. I think I agree with Case, but that's what I've been saying at the beginning. He keeps changing that back four. You know, we have a great game, we do really good. You know, Martinez and the boys come through and do fantastic, and then boom, it's, you know, one or two off. And as again, Lindelof, can't say enough about the guy's effort. I wish I could put as much effort into something as that guy, his commitment, but he just doesn't hold the grade. I wish he did. Fred, I mean, well, how many balls go backwards? I mean, he scored. I think he was trying to get a deflection again on at the weekend, and the only way to score. I think he's got to start being more consistent. You know, be the governor. Start getting the guys that are on form playing, and I think if he chops it all up, I know it's a different tournament, but it's still a team. You know, so that's my thoughts. I think that with the World Cup coming, you know, I don't know if it's going to be a time to sell players. I really don't, because I think every team is going to realize that every player is going to be a little bit off because they got the World Cup. They got to go back to their Premier League or the Spanish League. I mean, have you ever in America? Have you ever been in the middle of something, Casey, and then had to stop for a tournament of that size or importance to you, and then go back to what you're doing?
I know one thing on Ten Hag's thought process. He's always said he always plays the strongest squad possible. I know Victor's in because Veron's hurt, but he's been. I know Bruno needs a break. Bruno's played every minute. Ericsson could play. I mean, Fred and McTominay. I don't think he has time to worry about the World Cup right now. We have to get ourselves in position.
Why
The
Harry?
World Cup that's not his problem. He's got to get himself playing in the right position going into the World Cup, because coming out of the World Cup, who knows who's going to be injured, what's going to be what. We can't wait till after the World Cup to try to make ground. It has to happen now. We have to be fighting for the top four. And one thing he's always said, I'm going to play the strongest squad possible, and he's stuck to it, because every time we thought he was going to rest Ericsson or rest Bruno, he doesn't. He plays them.
Right.
But I know Bruno's played every minute. Bruno needs a break.
Yeah, and again, this is not the official lineup. This is just the predicted.
But I feel we're going to move on though in our group.
I agree.
Right? Are we in second?
I think that's why he's going to play all these players that, no disrespect to Sheriff FC, but they're the third place team in a fourth group, and we played them, and we convincingly beat them, and so I think it's time to let some of these other players play and get some time, get some action, and to let these other players get rest for later games and for the World Cup and for more important games like our final match of the Europa League stage, which is against the first place Real Sociedad. So I think playing the players that aren't always in is good for two reasons. One, obviously to give them playing time, and what if some of these players go down, like our main players? These guys have to learn how to play each other, because I'm sure Sancho and Anthony hasn't had a lot of playing time with Van der Beek or Maguire or Lindelof as much. He's played a lot more, but it's only when Varane has been hurt. So I mean, I think some of these players need to get live action with each other so they can get used to the way they're playing too, because I know the way it used to be, if you had to go to the World Cup or your international duty, the league would just move on. They would keep on playing without you. It's just been the last 10 years where they actually changed it and said, no, we're going to stop play completely and let the World Cup happen, and then all these players can come back, which I understand both ways. But it's like eventually some of these players are going to get injured because they are going to play a lot, and then he has to manage the minutes for the World Cup and for his own team. So I think it's good that he's going to put on some other. It's going to be trying, and it's going to be a testament for us. But I think in the end, it's the right thing to do to play some of these players that haven't been playing a lot, and then maybe in the 70th minute put on your Ericssons and your more of your starters. But I like that he's going to put in a lot more of these second rate players. I think that's a good idea, especially for this game.
But I see what you're saying, Fish, but this is the first time that I can even recall that the World Cup has interrupted a season. It's the season's ended. Players have been released during the year if there's a friendly or there's a qualifier or something for one game. They release them for that. Yes, they'll stop a week or something. But for the entirety of a tournament, I don't think it's ever happened. Sorry, what's the matter? Seriously?
He wants to put in his opinion.
Yeah, exactly. He's like,
what about my lineup?
He's going for Germany. Really? Seriously? What's the matter? Oh God. People don't believe me. Anyway, it cracks me up. I love him. It's the first time it's ever been for an entire tournament that it's been interrupted. And again, I can't understand to play in Qatar. But anyway, all right, enough of that. any more thoughts about Sheriff, or jump on to our wonderful Glaziers?
I think it should be a straightforward match. I think we just need to play our attacking, play out. As long as our midfield is solid, there's no way we're gonna, give up more than one goal.
Score prediction?
I could see them scoring one, so I think it'll be like a 3-1, 2-1, solid midfield battle,
Okay.
but a win for United.
I see us beat them by 2, maybe a 2-0. I could see them possibly nicking one, so a 3-1 feels comfortable. I don't see us having any problems with this team. Whatever, if we put in some key guys who preach effort and this new way of playing, I think our squad will be fine. I'm looking for Cristiano to have an impact. I don't see us having a problem with this team. It's just something we just got to go through and get it done and get ready for the Hammers. But Ten Hag always says, I play the best team possible. And, he's not going to go through what he went through early in the season with those 2 losses. I think that scared the shit out of him. That's not what he wants to go through ever again. He wants effort, and he wants desire out there, and he wants to play smart. So I trust him. He's going to put in the right team, the right formula, the right tactics. I mean, the man was brilliant against Chelsea when he called Bruno over and told Bruno to have the forwards go wide, have the backers go wide and start getting crosses in the box. And beautiful, worked out perfect. What a man! What a man! Just change tactics real quick.
I think I think you're right there. I think that the key word there, Casey, I think was perfect, was trust. Players, supporters, got to start trusting the guy. And obviously, as I said, whether it's the agreement video or we do it week in, week out, we put so much on these guys, and expect so much of them. We've got to learn to trust him. I got a frightening feeling about Thursday. I think we'll do it, but I think we're going to do it 1-0. And I just got this in the back of my head. I just seen Ronaldo throwing his toys out of his pram, and just. I don't know. I hope not. I really do, because he's the man's a legend. But 1-0, I reckon. So but real quick, I think we need to have or at some point address or video about these officials, man. There's got to be some kind of accountability. Bournemouth got just done this weekend. I mean, one end of the pitch they don't get a call, the other end of the pitch that goes against them. It's ridiculous. I mean, a little bit of love,
consistency.
Guys, where I'm from, but these guys have. I was raised probably like you guys. The referee's decision is final. Okay, like it or not. Okay, we can go for that back and forth. Fair enough. You got to take it on the chin. It is how it is. But they've got to be held accountable once a month, where you file a complaint. I mean, it's just. I mean, some of the calls this year for every team, it's been appalling. And the VAR. I think if we're going to have this thing, which is turning out to be worthless, I think we've got to have an independent individuals doing the VAR. Right, not a referee, not Mike Dean, not his buddy, because the guy's not going to come up after he's made a decision, look at the thing and go, "Oh, okay, I made a mistake." It's not human nature, It's. I couldn't see myself doing it. I mean, it's just. I think if they're going to have VAR, it's got to be somebody independent of the situation, and he makes the call. But I think we should maybe next week, do a video or have a Zoom chat on that. Yeah,
Agreed.
Cool.
Yeah,
I don't understand is when I watch rugby use their system, they're officiating. They talk to each other. They're like, "Oh, I made a mistake right there. That's not the call." Okay, and they move on. Our guys are so pompous and smug. It's like they can't look into that camera and say, "Oh shit, I called that wrong." That's all they have to do. But they go to the system and they get dumber. I don't understand it. Nothing is so inconsistent. People are showing pictures from different games where other guys tackled guys that had held guys around the waist in the box, and they didn't call a damn thing. But our guy, when I caught the guy, I know Scotty had his hand around him, but goddamn, the guy was falling down. Hey, Scotty should just let him let him fall on his goddamn face. But the referee, it's embarrassing. I think the officiating in England is terrible. There's a serious problem with them. They're hurting the game. They're causing team points. They're causing people to get relegated. They're causing people be in top 4.
Yeah,
as far as I'm concerned, they lost 2 matches.
it's a survival. I mean, the points they drop is talking the difference between the Championship and Premier League, which is it's not important to everybody, but it's massive. And I think it seems to me like they need to follow a rule, not a feeling. It's like one referee, maybe when he played football, he didn't mind getting a bit rough and tumble, so it's a contact sport. The other guy's a bit of a prima donna, goes down a bit like the Spanish. It's got to be a rule, one for all. Yeah, it's not like I think they've got to definitely sort out. And as for the rugby, mate, I think it's because one profession is professional, one is amateur, right? Rugby is really semi-pro, if you will, but they don't make a lot of money. To play for your country is an honor, right? It's nothing compared to like the Premier League. It's
well, the more money makes it more serious.
I agree.
I don't know. I just feel like they need to have more people who played the game refereeing and officiating, because like you said, it's a feeling. Sometimes you can look at a play and be like, oh, that guy was going down. No. That's not a penalty. That's not a penalty. He was going down anyway. He had his hand. It was naughty, but he was going down anyway. Let's you can't do that. Let the players play.
If you played, the commentators who have played, they'll be like, well, I know what he was trying to do. He's trying to give him a bit of a targeter. It's anyway, but maybe next week.
Like the Rashford one, when he jumped over a player, was in the air, kicked the ball, and then his hands are up here, and he comes down. He's just trying to prevent himself from falling on his face and breaking his ankle. That is an athletic move. You got to respect that and be like, oh shit, I know he might have touched it, but he wasn't trying to get. The kid jumped over a guy and kicked the ball. That's athletic. Right. You got to respect that.
No, I agree.
And then you have the next game, some guys dribbled the ball and scored, and they didn't even call that shit. It just doesn't make sense. All right, I'm off it. I just think
that is in the rule book. If it's incidental contact, it doesn't count. How can you expect a guy coming from 5 feet out of the air not to put his hands out to catch his balance while he lands? That's a normal.
That means that ref's never done anything athletic in his life. He doesn't understand what it takes to jump over a player and kick the ball while you're in the air.
Well, anyway, go jump over something. You're going to use your hands for balance and to help you jump.
Yeah, and the other thing is that they talk about how often the rules change now. I mean, I remember when the biggest thing was that when you played the ball back to the keeper changed. That was the only thing that changed in probably 10, 15 years. So every year they're changing this rule, that rule. How many rules of subs of this? I don't know. Anyway, so let's make a point to get on that next week, because I think it'll be quite interesting to see what everybody's got to say. It'll be a long one. And
it'll be a long one.
Right. Pages. Thoughts this week?
Green and gold till the club is sold.
There you go.
It never changes with me. It's not about, people think it's because they spend money we should be happy. No. They've wasted money. And they've taken so much money out the club, because for us to be in a situation where they say we don't have money for a January window, this club has money. This club generates a lot of money. So that just lets us know that they've mismanaged funds. Now they're talking about getting a director of football, but they've talked this gas before. They're good at stalling and wasting time. They're very good at that. And when they put this high label on we were worth like 10 billion or 9 billion. That's incredible. So you're not trying to sell the club. I mean, the Glazers are very good at changing the narrative and distracting us. They're not doing anything but stalling, and so they can take out more money. And never changes with me. Fuck them, get them out. I don't care who they get. The one thing they did good, they brought Ten Hag in, but Ten Hag sees their bullshit. He sees their bullshit.
So did Ragnick. He was just more vocal about it, and then they pissed him off to now he's a international coach. He saw that opportunity.
They wasted that man's time. Wasted that man's. So
that's what all they do. They give you hope.
Director of football. What's up with Mortov and all these guys? What have they been doing this whole time? What were
10
they
minutes,
doing?
guys.
That means if we didn't have Ten Hag, we wouldn't have Ten Hag drafted every player that we had, but Casemiro, he's the only one.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, we've been saying all along. I mean, it's all smoke and mirrors with them. Look, I don't understand, high finance, high business, but it's obvious they put money in, they buy money, they buy a player, they sell a player. They're trying to make it look like on the books there's a business going on, operation going on. It's something functioning. It's not stagnant. At the end of the day, there's not many teams, if any, out there that are as recognizable as Manchester United. So when you walk in a bank and say, hey, I own Manchester United, you're still going to get someone's attention. But it's just that there's so much money out there that's flying into the Premier League now. I mean, like I said, Bournemouth just got sold 120 million. That's all. Yeah, I know they're not obviously top 4 team, but they're in the Premier League.
Isn't that the TV money from being in the Premier League? 100 million.
That's exactly. It's nothing. I can't believe. I was talking to my father this morning. 120 million. And the guy,
Anthony's worth more than their club.
He's right, and he's a guy from the hockey team in Vegas has bought it. But the amount of money he's going to generate now, and he's going to grow, and he's going to make from that team everything, right? Because it's still Premier League, and he's going to obviously market it, and it's going to grow and keep going. So why he can't fight that? There has to be someone that wants to buy Manchester United. Let's face it, it has to be even outside of our money. So again, I agree with you. They don't want to sell. But you'd be surprised, Casey, how many people came up with Patch and I were talking to at the weekend who are convinced the Glazers are great guys and they want to sell, they will sell, and they're doing a great job for the club.
That's the problem. That's the problem.
Yeah. I couldn't believe it. And it's not just one or two.
I know one person who thinks the Glazers need to deserve credit. I'm like, you're insane.
Yeah.
You are insane.
You do not
I know people don't want to kill him too.
No.
They don't know how to run a club. They're businessmen, and they're not that. I mean, they're good with
Manchester United and not even go to matches and don't even. I would be talking to Cristiano like, "What's the problem? What's going on? Why are you walking out of my team? If I own the team, I'd be like, what are you doing?"
I agree, but if if it's purely a business entity for them, but let's face it, there are some individuals in that 1% of the world who nothing is. It's just business. Everything's just business. But then let it be a business and let it be a successful business. Surely. If you've got something like Manchester United that can generate what it can generate for you, as Neville said a long time ago, let the guys who do the corporate stuff do the corporate stuff, and let the football players be the football players, and let the manager be the manager. And it's like it's just all got mixed up. It's
Ten Hag is doing good despite them.
Oh, I'm with you 100%, mate. I think he's great. If he can get the players to do it as well, so they
said they're not going to give him anybody in January.
Again, I think we've got to wait to see what happens in the World Cup to see what we get.
That means Cristiano can't leave.
That remains to be seen.
I don't think he's. And as I said, I don't think it's necessarily his relationship with the manager. I think it's just in his own head right now. I can't imagine being that's superb of an athlete, and when it starts to slip, it starts to slip. I can't imagine how that's going to affect you mentally. It's the older I got, the better I got, because everybody else slowed down as well. But I don't know. I think
a lot of guys who played with him, started with him, and they're watching him on TV. He's done very well for himself. He has nothing to be ashamed of.
Father time is father time. I mean, when you're not invincible, you're going to eventually start getting older and stop being able to play as you did when you're at top of your game.
I agree, but I think
he's on the downfall, but he's still great, and he's always going to be great. He's going to be the best player to ever play the game, in my opinion, in this era. And I mean, he proved it with going to multiple clubs and going to the top with each one of them.
I agree.
So
I just think in his mind, because that individuals like that are so unique that who knows what's going on in their head. You know what I mean?
He did it in England. Messi did it.
right? Yeah, but that debate will go on for all time, won't it? It's like the Muhammad Ali and the Tyson and the Joe Lewis. It's who was the best, the Messi or the Ronaldo, or if he played with Maradona's day, who knows?
Exactly.
Right, I had one thought to wrap it up in the last like 2 or 3 minutes got left. Like,
what do you guys think? Go ahead. Sorry,
mate. How are your thoughts? In a quick one on how we are standing at this point in the season compared to how we were when we started, just as a club, as a team. Okay.
I think as a team, we are tough to beat. We come with good tactics. Our coach seems to put the right players in the right situation, so I trust that we are going to be in every match we play in.
Fish?
Yeah, the beginning was shambles, and it's definitely not all sorted out now, but they are playing together as a team. They finally got some players that want to try as hard as the likes of Bruno and De Gea and Ronaldo, and it's starting to show through, and these players are actually playing for the badge, and they want to be there, and they want to do good on behalf of the badge and the club and the fans and each other, and they're showing that. Martinez is a butcher, man. He goes through players like they're nothing and wants to
He's our spirit.
go to war with.
You see, he put Mason Mount in his place, didn't he, at the weekend?
Yeah, he did. And
like
our midfield is good. I think Eriksen and Casemiro as a duo in the midfield. I don't think there's any two players on our team that are better than them in the midfield. I mean, I like McTominay and Fred, but together they're not as good. And that's what they try to do with the McFred, and it didn't work. And I think Eriksen and Casemiro play well off of each other, and they accent well off each other, and they can pass, and one moves up and one stays back, and it's great. They accent each other well. And I mean, Casemiro got a song out of it. That's how well he's been playing. So, and I love that new chant, and we're gonna sing it on the weekend. So it's I think with and it's crazy because Ten Hag didn't even want Casemiro. I mean, he just wasn't on his radar. He wasn't like, he didn't want him, but they went out and got him, which was good. And they needed to get somebody, and Casemiro is a world-class player, and I'm happy they got him. But until you make the manager happy, I don't know what he's going to do. Still need to get Frankie de Jong or something.
Yeah, I think at United, it's you make the fans happy. But real quick, we've got 2 minutes. Bruno, doing good as a captain on you? Yes or no? Case?
Yes.
Brilliant.
Fish?
Brilliant.
Yep. Great.
I agree.
Great captain. Way better than Harry.
Yeah, I agree. He's up in referees. He's leading
Like
the team.
people. It's like 5 people could be better than Harry.
Yeah.
Like and subscribe.
Everyone could. Right, guys. 1878 casuals. We will be watching the game Thursday. Actually, I'll be in Lucky's. I'm not sure who's working, who's not. Lucky's at the weekend for the Hammers game. Casey and Fish, always a pleasure, lads. Loving every minute of it. Glazers out, Glazers out, Glazers out.
Up the Reds, fuck the Glazers.
Moo Mia.
1870 casual. Terrell's coat, Moo Mia ice cream. Like and subscribe.
Have you had any yet?
Shadow Dog the casuals. Huh?
Comment.